Hey, welcome to my little corner of the world. Over to you. I appreciate you stopping by on this beautiful September day here in 2025. I have a lovely guest on here today. Her name is Maia Sharp. This is a return to the podcast. She has been on here before, and she has a great new release out, and we're going to connect up with her right now. I love doing this, by the way. I believe she's out in LA, but no, no, no. I bet she's in Nashville. I bet she's in Nashville. I think she moved there, but yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope all is well as we are connecting here. And just let you know I'm recording at the moment. I don't. There we go. I think your mic
Okay,
is hot. There
I
we
saw
go.
that.
Yeah,
Are you hearing and seeing me? I'm
we
on
are.
kind of a new setup and a new place here, so making sure.
Yeah, yeah. I we got sound and vision. Are
We got
you?
sound and vision. That's all.
That's really what it takes here on our lovely Zoom chat, as we
I
say.
know.
So you're up in Tennessee today, or are you traveling around the country as we speak?
Actually, I flew out yesterday, so I'm in Los Angeles today. This is like uh the first day of the tour essentially. So this is
Oh,
the first morning that I am somewhere else, and the first show is on Friday. Is in
wow.
the
This goes with
Netherlands.
my first guess because we're like, I know you have the LA connection and everything, but I know
Oh
you had
yeah.
moved to Nashville. I was like, you're all over the
Who
place.
was your first guest?
My very first guess was that you were probably in Los
Oh,
Angeles.
oh, the
And
guest. I thought you said a
yeah,
guest. I was like,
yeah.
oh, I
My
wonder if I know them.
my first guess was 5 years ago. I've been doing this for 5 years.
Okay, yeah, I thought this was our already rolling. Yeah,
Yeah.
I lived in Los Angeles for 43 years, something like that. And this is actually I've been coming back less frequently and getting more and more wistful. I think I need to adjust the schedule a little bit and make sure that I come back. I almost called it home again. I mean,
Yeah.
what does that tell you?
Yeah, I guess you had a lot of family there too as well.
Well, I did. Actually, most of my extended family is in the Central Valley. I do have a couple cousins in the LA area, but I moved my parents out to Nashville last April. So
Ah.
now we're all in the same city again, which is very helpful. I'm an only child, so it just
Oh,
felt
it's
like
all
it
on
was
you.
time.
Yeah.
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 I mean, they're still, they're still awesome. They had me very young, which is definitely a plus now. They're only in their early 70s, and
Oh yeah.
they're like artist early 70s. So it's even younger.
They are very artistic and a lot of
Yes.
connections there. It's a very interesting background that you have. And it's no wonder that the apple is not falling far from the tree after all these years. That you're doing this and you're
Yeah.
a true artist. It's like
Well,
that's
thank
that's your
you.
world.
Yeah, it is, but I'll tell you, like it was never assumed, and they never like pressured me any which way or even ever give me any like unsolicited advice. Like I could have done anything that I wanted to and they were there. I'm one of the very, very fortunate ones who I always knew that I had the support of my, you know, really everybody in my family. Like, and it's not always like that. I have friends that have had a really hard time with all kinds of aspects of their life. Like, I want to be a musician. Well, that's not a real job.
Yeah.
I think I love a woman. That's not okay. All of that. Like, man, I dodged a lot of bullets. Like, I
Mm-mm.
got very, very lucky with that.
Oh, that is so true. And I think people around my age, your age, it's like we've seen that. There
Hmm.
are different sets of issues these days growing up.
Yes.
Good things that have happened, we are more aware of bullying and all the human rights issues.
Right.
Gosh, the things that we put up with. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we didn't have to do it online.
Yeah, that too.
At least it was over. I
Yeah.
mean, it would at least in person, it was over at the end of the day. Maybe it was still there in the morning when you had to go back to school, but it wasn't on a loop. It wasn't forever.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having to deal with that. Like, I can't imagine some of the stuff, it, yeah, just some of the stuff that I had to deal with I cannot imagine if I went home and there it was in front of me on a little
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah. Keyboard warriors and
Oh,
they're all over the place. It's like
yeah.
turn the comments off. I don't need this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you've heard it
Oh
here,
yeah.
right?
Oh, all the work I've done, whether I've been in journalism doing the
Ugh,
stuff I do here, it's
yeah.
just everything's under it. I feel like everything's under attack. It never ends.
There's some people with so much anger inside, like they're just looking for somewhere to point it, and they just need to troll. Like,
Yeah.
wow, how much time do you get on this earth? We don't even know, and that's how you're gonna spend it?
Yeah. 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 It's
God,
true. What a waste of time. And then,
what a
I
waste.
think that they just don't think that there's anybody on the other end of it reading, reacting, have emotions. They just think they could just put it out there and they're venting. Maybe somehow they think they're just, letting it go. But like things have gone public. You see all the viral videos
Oh
out there,
yeah.
people losing it in public.
Oh yeah. You know what? I wonder if it's kind of like when you're on the road. Like you don't see that there's a human in the car. You just
Yeah.
kind of see the bumper and the wheels and the
Yeah.
car.
Oh,
Because
that's yeah.
I definitely let things fly in the on the road that I would never do if we were just face to face. I say horrible things to people that I never would do if there was a human face in front of me or even
That's true.
online.
Yeah, just let it go into the ether in your own room.
Yeah,
Hopefully nobody's
exactly.
listening.
Exactly.
Yeah, some people, and then you see that taking it out on the road. We have road rage here in the southeast, here in the Atlanta metro area. I'm sure in LA,
Oh my
that's
God,
it's terrible.
Atlanta. I know when I'm getting close to Atlanta, even if I've, like kind of lost track of where I am, I can feel it on the highway when within 50 miles of your city. I can't, I mean, it's kind of like the Autobahn.
It is.
It's
Oh my gosh.
serious.
Yeah, when you have those straightaways and people feel like they could really just like
Oh man.
cruise
And the lane lines don't mean anything.
or
Wow.
blinkers.
Well, I'm glad that you're okay.
Yeah, yeah, we're surviving. I don't know how much longer, but I take it day by day. That's all you could do,
Yeah.
really. But that's you're out there traveling, so the tour is basically starting on the West Coast. Are you working your way in? How is
Yep.
that working?
Yep. I am starting in my old hometown on Friday, staying in the LA area through Saturday, and then heading up to the Northern California area. And then Oregon. I'm playing the Sisters Oregon Festival for the first time, and I've heard wonderful things about it. It's a week. I think it's the 22nd through the 25th or the 26th. It's a week of what they call the Americana Song Academy. And
Ah,
so I teach two classes and I'm like available to mentor and I'm just around. And um, 3 days after that is the festival. And that's like the Friday through Sunday. And then I think each of the artists play a show a day. It just sounds like a community thing. It just sounds like a way to really get to know some new people. It's not just like, hey, at the show.
yeah.
Hopefully I'll see you again out there on the road, but like an opportunity to really kind of steep in it. And it made me, so I teach one-on-one a lot and I do a lot of workshops, but
Oh,
thinking up a class and then standing in front of a class and presenting, this is my class,
yeah.
something,
What a
it's some,
feeling.
it's a whole other thing.
Mm.
Like, the workshop thing of like hearing your song, finding out who you want to reach with it, what do you really want to say? I can help you with all of that, but it's more of a reactive thing.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
but a class is not reactive. It's like I'm going to show up, you don't know what you're going to hear, and I have to present something. There's a little bit of a like, oh, I'm a little terrified, which I appreciate. Like, I've been doing this for 30 years. And I like when things still kind of scare me. Like that's obviously a comfort zone that maybe I didn't realize I was in. And now it's time it's time to push it a little bit. So I'm going to stand in front of a class
Nice.
and present this thing that I made that may or may not suck, but I think it's going to be all right.
Be fine. Yeah, well, it's all performance. So you always have to remember that. It's like, hey,
Exactly.
if I could do this, I could do that. But yeah, it's about
Right.
getting out of your comfort zone too, which, a lot of us, you need to do that. It's like exercise. You need to really get
Yes.
out of it.
Oh, exactly. I think the nightmare would be if everything was just super easy. I think I would be bored, and that would lead to bad things. I think I would
Yeah.
start to be like, what's it all for? Why am I here? Like I would go to all of these existential bad places. I need to keep on kind of like, oh, I didn't know I could do that, or oh, I need to really improve on that, or I need to always always have a cycle like that happen.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Well, I've listened to your new release, Tomboy, and
Yes.
the title track sets the theme for the entire thing, as it should.
Thank
And
you.
just really awesome. And then there's also an online video with a collection of photos from your parents. That's just it's a really nice video that was put together as well. But that meaning behind the song is just really setting the tone and incredibly personal, like a lot of music is.
Yeah.
And you really get that out there in this album.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely real. You can probably tell by the image that I still am a tomboy.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and,
Um,
and how our society really reacts to that, and how I
yeah.
think that's how you deal with it, especially in the title track.
Yeah, there's a lot of angles to it that I was feeling during the process, but also that I feel like I've kind of learned about it afterwards, like just in the conversation about it. Like, um, okay, first of all, the photographs. So those were on a DVD, which tells you how old they were. And they
That's
were,
fun.
yeah,
So many
they,
formats.
I know. So this was like, I don't know how long it had been there. It had probably, I mean, my dad had made that just kind of for fun. It was just a DVD full of stills of me as a child. So I'm an only child. My mom was a photographer. How do you think that
Yeah,
went? So there's a
heavily,
lot of,
heavily recorded. Heavily
so there's,
recorded.
right. And
Yeah,
they were always just, as I said earlier, they never forced me to look any which way. So however I wanted to, look or dress, I have a very clear memory, a couple of them, of going to the department store. That also tells you about the time. And going into the girls section and just like not seeing anything and like seeing all these clothes that I really wanted over in the
yeah.
boys section and walking over there and my mom following me, and either the person working there would say, "Oh, sorry, honey, this is the boys section." And my mom would be like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, she's aware. Thanks." And just like right
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
just assuming that I was a boy because I look like a boy. And then mom totally was like, "Okay, well, how about this, honey?" Like just totally supportive. Like, was never in the way of that. So I had a couple other family members that were like, "Don't you want to wear a dress to the wedding, or don't you want to wear So that happened a few times, but they were just however I wanted to look was fine. So there's a lot of pictures of that,
Yeah.
and I found the DVD. I had seen it sitting there in the stack, and I knew that it was probably pictures of me as a kid because on the cover was that shot of me in a football helmet without a shirt holding a football. And I thought, okay, maybe there's more of these like this. And I had just started to produce Tomboy, and I was just starting to think maybe this is the title of the record. It feels
Yeah.
like it's setting a tone in a lot of ways. It's setting a tone in a kind of retrospective, like looking back on what it felt like before and realizing now that it's okay to celebrate that and actually kind of finding the joy and the playfulness in the celebration of that. So that, and just also like in the production itself, just more percussive and playful and up, even though it might be touching on a dark-ish theme, it's still presented as, isn't this fun?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I wanted it to be that. And so that just started to set like, okay, this really feels like this could be a core for the record. I was only a couple songs in, but I'm like, so I kind of want everything to fit in with this. And hey, I wonder what's, I wonder what's on the DVD. And I look at the DVD and it's literally like 100 shots of me as a kid. And in every single shot, I look like a little boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, and it was awesome. Like I welled up just over and over again. So I reassembled the pictures that were on the DVD into, you know, the spaces that kind of fit in with the lyric and sent it over to my friend Sarah Holbrook, who is also violin on the record. Everybody in music has to do a lot of things.
I know.
So
Gotta have the
Sarah,
day gigs, right?
oh my God. Well, I mean, if you, I mean, you know, she's still like, I think the video still informs the audio for her, but she's, you know, you know, she's a writer, player,
Yeah.
and
Does it
and
all.
also, you know, right, this, which is very fortunate for me because, you know, it's very helpful. So she assembled it and like, or she took what I gave her, just a draft, and made it look really slick like that. And then this might be my favorite part about it. I did a shout out like, hey, any like friends or fans want to send in a tomboy picture of, you know, themselves. And I got a full new slate of tomboy pictures and re-edited the original video with everybody else's picture. So there's another version of it. And I then after that one, I got some more pictures. So I might even have to do a re-edit to add some more pictures in because they're apparently we're everywhere.
Yeah. What a great way to celebrate fans and people who could really identify and show a solidarity too. And you have a hashtag, We Are Everywhere.
I actually I've been terrible at using that, but yes, I would love that. Either hashtag we are everywhere or hashtag Tomboy Nation. I'm kind of working on that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. You know, a good marketing thing too, which is another hat you got to wear in this
Oh,
business. It's just crazy.
don't even. So many hats.
I know. It's all about, the clickbait and stuff we deal with in journalism too. It's like, oh my gosh,
Oh,
just
I
to try to
bet.
get eyeballs and get ears on the product. It's just, the lengths you have to go through to get there. It's just insanity.
Yeah, and the you know, just I think the days of only doing one thing in any like creative field. Do you know anybody that just does the one thing
Right.
and that's
Right.
it? Like I used to know people that all they did was write write like, you know, like a top line melody, or they were only the lyric, or
Mm.
they were only the trackster. Like they're, but now I cannot imagine living off of just any one thing. I mean, maybe there's, you know, still somebody out there doing it, but it ain't me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the legacy part of the business, and it's just changed so much. You have to wear all these different hats. I mean, yeah, just being a lyricist, yeah, I mean, if you have all day to just do that alone, yeah, that's lovely. If
I
you
know,
could
wouldn't
get
that be
away with that.
lovely?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and then with technology, you really don't have to leave the house. Just write songs all day and have everything delivered.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if that's, I don't know if that's a full life, but I guess it
Not
would
at
be
all.
easy. Okay.
Yeah. It's very sad and lonely. So with Tomboy, you recorded was it all done in Nashville?
Yeah, actually, all the recording was done in Nashville. I did maybe except still haven't found what I'm looking for because that was recorded originally for my Patreon page in
Mm.
2020. And I uh, called a couple LA friends to put their parts down. Garrison Starr, who's actually, this is her room. I'm staying at her house
Oh, cool. It's
now.
nice.
So she put a choir of vocals down on it for me, and my buddy Vanessa Freebairn Smith put a stack of cellos on it for me and sent them back to me. And that was the only outside of Nashville thing. The rest of the album was the process was pretty much the same for those other 9 songs. I framed it out in my studio and then sent it out to Eric Darken to put percussion down. I asked him for unusual things like nothing that just sounds like a drum set. So
Mm.
he has these percussion instruments from all over the world, and he put down all this just wonderful odd things like what the hell is that? I don't want to know. It sounds like something I haven't I have never heard before. So that's perfect, right? Um, had my bass player Will Honecker come over, and then had a couple like really like I would just like, you know what, I want a flugelhorn on that, or I want a string section on that. So all the rest of the parts they came to me, but this more than any other album I made, and this is number 10. This one I spent the most time alone, just mad scientist, just falling down holes, just like I'm gonna look for that synth patch for 3 hours and enjoy every minute of it. I'm
So
gonna,
shut
tr-
yourself away
oh
until
my
you
gosh,
are fully formed. That's
yeah. I mean, just for the journey of that, for the creative information of that, and also off the clock. Like you don't have to. It doesn't. It doesn't like run up the bill anymore, and the bill is already high enough uh, with the pressing and
oh gosh.
promo and all of that. So
Yeah, people don't know about the marketing and how much goes into that. But yeah, getting back to I like your cover of U2's song.
oh,
It's just
thanks.
absolutely amazing. And you're referencing about how like you miss the 80s songs in some of your lyrics and
That's
like
right.
that's got to be one of them obviously. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like comfort food. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. It just it's one of those things. You remember where you were when you first heard that and
Yeah.
music business was so different at that point.
Yeah, you're right. I hadn't even connected the 80s reference. I referenced the 80s in another song called Edge of the Weather Line that I wrote with my friend May Early Wine. And I just realized early wine and weather line rhyme. But
Yeah.
uh,
It's really a nice
yeah.
mellow track. I love your saxophone on
Oh,
that.
thank you. Well, the 80s reference definitely inspired me choosing to play the sax on that. Because do you
Hmm.
remember the 80s and 90s? Saxophone was the thing.
David Sanborn was like, oh
I
my gosh, when
mean,
I heard that. Somebody brought that into the dorm room. I'm like, what is it with this? You know,
I
it was just
know.
amazing.
And just like so many pop hits, the Sade stuff and the George Michael stuff and Sheila E. and Billy Ocean. And like, there's all these like very known saxophone solos from that era. And that's
It's
when I was starting to come up. Like, saxophone was my first instrument. I thought I wanted to be a
oh,
saxophone player. I went to college here in LA to be a
uh,
saxophone player. And I was inspired by that. Like, oh, the saxophone player in the band is the coolest person in the band. Look at all the solos they get. And then there were no more sax solos after like 2005. Like, it's so
yeah.
odd. It's so rare to hear it.
Yeah, it is something in its time. It definitely is. It just gives it that edge, and it really does take you back. It's a very nostalgic feel, but yeah, it's wonderful how you
Thank you.
wove that into Edge of the Weather line. It's just very well done, and you got some great collaborations on there with Terry Clark. Is
Yes.
wonderful song called "Asking for a Friend." It's just
Thank you.
really nice collaborations you have in there.
Yeah, thank you. I think either Matthew Perryman Jones or Terry Clark was my first, like, you know what, I really want to feature them, like, um, especially because their vocals are so prominent on there. I mean, those two songs are basically a duet. They're both, singing for the whole thing. And um, I hesitate a little bit, like, is it funky to like do more than one feature? Like, does it take wind out of a feature if you have a bunch of features? And then it felt like maybe two would have been odd. But if you just put the pedal to the metal and just do like half the record as features, like just lean into it. So I decided to do that. So I have another song featuring Fancy Haygood and Emily West that Emily and I wrote. Uh, the song that we were just talking about, the U2 cover is featuring Garrison Starr. Any Other Way is featuring a duo that I've been producing and writing with called Sarah and Shannon, and we wrote that song together. So it's like every, I I appreciate being able to be alone in the cave. I guess as an only child, I'm not afraid to be alone for a really long time, which is helpful on the road because I travel alone also. But I also, it makes me, I think, appreciate even more than maybe I would have also being on a team. So when it's time to not be alone, I love to have a partnership. I love to have a team like that. And so to be able to bring my friends in, and especially after moving to Nashville 6 years ago or so, it's such a community centered place. We are interacting all the time. We are helping each other out all the time. We are referring each other, introducing each other to other people all the time. Like it's very active. And so I think it would have been, kind of shortchanging my situation if I didn't bring in a bunch of those people that I had been working with over those, the first 5 years that I lived there. Like I want to use all these people on the record. They're awesome.
Yeah, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. There's a lot of solo artists do that, have
Hmm.
guests on there. So yeah, leaning into it is fine. I look at Elton John, who did the lockdown sessions and had so many collaborate. It was all collaborations. I mean,
Yeah.
he loved doing that. And here was a he biggest solo star ever, and yeah, no problem with that. There's
No,
nothing wrong with leaning into that, getting other ideas, having other people interpret things. It's just it really moves it along. So your U2 cover, do you think the band would ever get wind that they've been covered? They've probably been covered so many times.
I'm sure that song has been done so many times. I mean, it would be great, but I have
Yeah.
no idea how to make that happen. It is interesting though that he sang it a whole step higher than I did.
Yeah.
That's how wide his range is. He sang the hell out of it a whole step higher than me, and I'm at the very like I that can't be any higher for me to pull off.
Yeah. I think he still does it in that range these
I
days
think he
too, doing it
does.
live. I mean, he's just a kid when he recorded, so it's like, yeah, I'm sure. It's
Yeah.
yeah. It must mean a lot to you though. I mean, that song and how you're still searching. You're still growing. It's just like
Yeah.
there'll be more albums. There'll be more ways to express yourself in the future.
Yeah, it really is a great song for that, and this is the first time I've ever done a cover on an album. I don't even really do them live very often. Um, I had kind of resisted that for for years, and I think I'm right about now. I'm wondering why I did that because this song, I felt very inside of it, like, and I'm sure a lot of people have. I'm sure everyone who covered it and who sings along to it is like, "This is me," but and it's not even right on the nose. It's such a cool, indirect, kind of put your own life in here kind of lyric. Um, yeah. Also, when it was recorded, the end of 2020 was the height of that. Like,
Mm.
I needed to sing that as high and hard as I could. Like, I needed to get that out. And I kind of circled back and just found it again. Like, I had forgotten that I even did that. And once I found it, I was like, okay, do I re-sing it? And then realize I can't recapture where I was at the end of 2020. It was an even more of a, I like even more of a searching place. And I don't know that I would be able to get there again for the vocal. So I just used that.
Yeah.
In fact, I ended up using everything that I did 5 years ago.
Yeah, and also the parallel with a song like that is that you keep digging and digging and searching, and you're the daughter of an anthropologist, so there's
That's
some
right.
parallels there.
That's
It's like
right.
there's the hidden meanings, always looking for that. So, but you got to you were really discovering the mini synth, and geeking out here on some
Yes.
of this stuff. It's the OP1 Field
The
mini
OP1
synth.
field. Oh my God. No, it's like trying to, it's maybe this big,
Wow.
tiny little guy. And it does, I think I've maybe cracked the top 3% of what it can actually do. you can record a record on it. You can record into it. You can also like record sounds, loop them, morph them, make them into whatever you want, put them on the record that you're making inside of it, all the synths, all it's crazy. And it was kind of my first foray into really just letting myself um, go inorganic for a minute and look for these sounds that don't sound like a piano or don't sound like a whirly. They're just its own crazy thing. And it was so fun.
That's neat.
And
That's neat.
again, yeah,
Yeah. You work with percussionist Eric Darken,
yeah,
and he's worked with some big names, Bon Jovi, Carrie Underwood. So that's
hmm,
is he in Nashville or
yeah.
yeah, you got a great community there. You could just all lean on each other.
Oh my God. I mean, any instrument, voice, kind of writer, producer, anything you could possibly want in any genre, you can find that in the city somewhere.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Eric and I met on the Art Garfunkel record,
Oh, cool.
2001, 2002, something like that.
It flies.
He
Time is
got,
just
I know, he got hired for that. Billy Mann hired Eric Darken for that record, and that's when we first met. And then we reconnected on on a Songwriting with Soldiers session 20 years later. And we're like, hey, dude, I need your number. And then boom, I used the hell out of him on this record. He's on almost every track on this record.
Yeah, songwriting for soldiers. That's another initiative. I think we had talked about this before, but that's just fantastic. Working with the, veterans and things
Mhm.
like that. That's great initiatives.
It's, we probably also said this before, but it has changed me in ways that I didn't realize I needed to be changed. Like
Yeah.
it's just such a perspective shift. It's so rewarding. I get to sit down with a veteran or a group of veterans. I actually have another session tomorrow with I think there's going to be eight of them there, and I have about 2.5 hours. They tell me whatever part of their story they want to tell me. It isn't like a workshop. It isn't me really putting my thing in. I'm just there to make a song out of whatever they want to tell me, and
Hmm.
in a short amount of time. That's like we said earlier,
It's
the
your challenge.
slightly terrifying part every time. I've done it
Sure.
almost 100 times now, and every single time there's a tiny voice that's like, maybe this is the time that you fail. Like I don't
Happens.
know if it's gonna come together. You only have 40 minutes. Do you really have it? Like that shows up every time, and every time I have to zen my way through it and make it happen. And it's just one of those other ways, like pushing the comfort zone.
Yeah, yeah. So how much does your co-writer do, Emily? I mean, how do you guys work together as far as like, messaging each other with lyrics, trading back and forth? How does that collaboration work?
Well, I actually have a couple of Emily. So my Tomboy collaborator is Emily Kopp, and we wrote this one. We wrote Tomboy in person when she was still living in Nashville. Emily West and I also, she lives in Nashville. Emily West and I co-wrote 2 songs on this record. We're always we're always in person. Yeah, I don't think we've ever
It's
done a
good.
Zoom there. In fact, all of my co-writers on this record were in person. Wherever we were, it wasn't a Zoom thing. I do the Zoom thing, but I don't think that happened on anywhere on this one.
Yeah, yeah. There's something can get lost in translation if you're doing it through technology. I love that song, Only Lucky. I love the
Thank
chanting at
you.
the end. Whose
Oh my
idea? Was
God.
that your production idea?
Yeah, I had this image of like this really wants there's something about it. It wants to kind of have like a bar chant, like the swinging of the steins at the end.
Yeah,
And I wasn't in a bar, but I mean, I do, I am in a bar every now and then, but I wasn't in a bar on this night.
great
I
place to
was,
perform.
yeah. I actually, again, I was at my friend Sarah Holbrook's house and she was having a gathering. I don't even remember what time of year it was. I think it was summer actually, because everybody was in their bathing suits. And Sarah took a video, and her sister Liza Holbrook, who's also on the album, had her little handheld recording. I had asked them before the party, "Hey, do you think everybody might be up for just singing a little something?" And the song hadn't even been produced far enough for them to hear the song. I just sang them the part that I wanted them to sing. And so everybody just got in the backyard. There was probably 20, 25 people, and I just sang them what I wanted them to sing, and then I shut up and let them sing it a bunch of times. You can hear on the recording, you can tell that they're in a yard because there's like a cicada choir going on behind
It's
them.
cute.
And at first it was like, God dang it, I just wanted to vote. And then I realized, no, this is even better. Like it makes it sound very real.
Hmm.
Yeah, and they have a lot of them, half of them probably haven't even heard themselves yet. Like, you know, I tried to tell everybody that it was out there, but it's still probably being revealed to some of them.
Oh wow. Yeah, and you have a nice mellow another sax driven song. Is that what love does? It's just
Yeah.
really nice, slow. There you go into more of your mellowish phase.
Yeah, that one, it's funny. Emily West and I wrote that one, and we joked that she was in love just long enough for us to write that song.
Great material for it, and I'm moving on after this.
Exactly. Thanks. I got it.
I think yeah, a lot of artists have been there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this wonderful love song. I remember Billy Joel would always say, "Yeah," and then we got divorced.
Mhm.
That's, yeah, that's so true. But
I know.
yeah,
And then he has
wow.
to sing it like every night and think about that. You
I
know,
know.
that's the, like, the slap back of that
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes.
It's like she gave me this great song, in a certain way. Yeah, it's like, okay, I created this, but the impetus, the creation of it is really from this relationship. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't end well, but yeah, it's popular and you got to perform it. It's like one of the staples,
Hmm.
that's got to be tough, I'm
I'm
sure, in
sure
some way.
I'm sure that happens a lot. I definitely know artists who are like, I'm not doing that song. I'm not going back there. I can't go back there. You know?
So when you're in a festival, how long is it set usually? Just like 15, 20 minutes?
You know what? I'm not, this is my first time doing this one. I think it's a proper showcase set. I think it's like 45,
Oh, wow.
something like that. Yeah.
That sounds
Um,
like fun.
yeah, I think so. And there's a couple artists from Nashville that I know they're going to be there that I've worked with a little bit, but I haven't really had some hang time with them. So that's going to be cool. Get to see them.
Yeah, Oregon's just gorgeous.
Oh
It's just
man,
what an atmosphere that is. That's a unique place as well. Just
I know.
oh,
I'm
West
such a
Coast.
West. Well, exactly.
Uh,
Are you on the West Coast too?
no,
Or
Atlanta's
oh, you're
landlocked just
Atlanta.
like
That's right.
Nashville.
That's right. Are you from the West Coast
No, I
originally?
grew up in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
So grew up on a body of water, much
Right.
smaller than the Pacific Ocean, but Lake Erie sufficed in a lot of ways. We did have beaches on there.
Oh, I've been to Erie. It
yeah,
looks like the ocean. You can fool
yeah,
yourself into
yeah,
think it's the ocean with no sharks. I think it's
yeah.
perfect.
It really is. One thing that they can't run out of is water over there. That's we
Yeah.
can in Atlanta. I don't know about well, Nashville's on the Tennessee River, so that's not too bad. But yeah, I always get nervous if we get into a drought situation here. Like we might be
Really.
fighting for water one day, but they do out in LA. They can run into droughts and they don't have desalinization
I know.
from the Pacific Ocean. So yeah, same problem there.
Yeah, we're always trying to I'm saying we like I'm still in LA, but I am in LA right now. We're always trying to barter and get it from other places, and
Yeah,
it's tough. In Nashville, they call the water the Cumberland Punch because it's not great.
yeah.
Everybody has to filter it.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I mean,
Yeah, out in LA, it's like, oh gosh, if we could just dig into this one aquifer, we could have put out those fires way faster. If we just like, it's like people just don't understand
oh,
the geography.
yeah, it makes me sad.
Yeah. Big time, big time. That's like one of your worst nightmares. It's apocalyptic. We're all over that story. It's just
Yeah.
insanely sad.
Yeah, I have two friends who lost their homes
Ugh.
in the fires. They're both all right, but I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you really have to find a kind of a new place for that. Like, okay, with all of their like old photos and
Ugh.
like furniture, like everything was in there, and they had to get out with the animals. Everybody got out with their animals, and their kids and everything. But
Yeah,
just
it's those keepsakes though, and photographs and videos are the most important thing, just like everything else you could really replace. But yeah,
mhm,
you want to save those memories for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, great new album, and you're out there
Thank
on the
you.
road. Think you'll be visiting the Southeast anytime soon?
Well, I'm playing in Nashville. I know that's not quite Atlanta, about what, a
Yeah.
4-hour drive, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's not too
Playing,
bad.
although once you get near Atlanta, it speeds up because it's the Autobahn.
Yeah,
Um,
totally. 75 south when you just start heading
75
this
South.
way.
I'm
Once you clear Chattanooga, it's like you
oh
start feeling it as you get
oh
closer.
yeah, yeah. I'm playing Nashville. I'm playing Third and Lindsley for the Lightning 100 Sunday night on October 5th. Um, and then yeah, I've got like Greenville, South Carolina,
I love it there.
Virginia. Nothing
Yeah.
in it. I just played Eddie's a couple months ago, so it might
Oh,
be a minute before I get back to Atlanta. But we're always adding new dates, and there'll definitely be some more through November and December. And the Southeast is the place to be later in the year. It's not quite as iced over
oh
as
yeah.
some other parts of the country. You probably don't want to go to Chicago at the beginning of January, but you might be able to go to Atlanta.
Yeah, it's so much nicer. I mean, we get the freak snowstorms, and we did this year. It's very rare, incredibly rare. Usually it's nice. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to fall and into the winter here. It's just this
Yeah.
wasn't too bad of a summer. We've had some nice respites, and today here in September, not bad. I mean, this
Good.
humidity, we've been getting some breaks, which is so unusual. I've been here a long time, and it's very unusual in August, September to get a respite from the humidity. It's
Yeah, we had our
amazing.
little false fall in Nashville. We had a sweet week or so. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what's going on there now, but it was really nice when I left. Of course, I'm like, oh, now I have to leave. But it's also really nice in LA, so can't complain.
Always nice there. Well, cool. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank
Best
you.
wishes on this project and promoting it and getting out there on the road. And obviously, there'll be an album number 11 not too far in the future, I'm sure.
I hope so. Thank you, Bob.
Take care. Have a good one.